technology is always a solution in the crisis. So technology will be really handy. There are multiple areas in which this technology would be adopted. One area is in the conduction of admission tests. The other area where technology definitely will play a most important role is in the learning space.
For online education to really become mainstream and enroll millions of students rather than hundreds of thousands of students, we need to have online degrees that are accredited by the various agencies.
My message to all the students and the higher education stakeholders is we need to double our efforts in this time in order to sustain and keep our economy afloat.
In India, we have to look at technology and education 4.0 as actually providing education to the uneducated, people who are not getting quality education.
Education 3.0 was nothing but technology driven. This is now going to be a permanent feature and it's now going to figure in all the teaching learning activities of times to come.
Hello everyone, I welcome you all to another chapter of Collegedunia in association with Avtaar. My name is Ruvneet from Collegedunia Private Limited, India's largest review platform and leading services platform for higher education in India. Today, we have organized this session for the students who are going to start their professional career, and the first stepping stone in this journey is internship. As we know, starting a career from point zero can be challenging and finding the first opportunity can be difficult. So, what's better than listening to the experts who have been in the industry for so long? Welcome and thank you panelists for joining us today. We have with us Mr. Tushar, co-founder of Avtaar. Welcome sir, thanks for joining.
My pleasure.
Thank you. And Ms. Ruvneet, Bains, co-founder of Avtaar. Thank you ma'am for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having us.
So, also I would like to thank our audience. I can see a lot of attendees here. Thanks for joining us. I request you all to please ask questions. We will be more than happy to answer your queries. Please mention your questions in the Q&A box. So, freshers who are looking out for their first job, stay tuned with us to know how to find your first internship, what to expect, challenges and responsibilities. So, before starting our panel discussion, I would like to ask Mr. Tushar and Ms. Ruvneet to set the context for the discussion. Over to you, Mr. Tushar.
Sure. Hi everyone, my name is Tushar. Please don't call me Tushar sir. I hate the name sir. It's a very English concept. Please call me by my first name. That is the first thing I tell all my students who come for an internship, because you are moving from an education field to workplace, right? And while there are hierarchies in the education sector, in a company, everyone is important. So it's important that you really understand what is the how do you work in a company, what is really important for you, how do you learn yourself. No one will give you ready-made answers, right? I've also done this on my own, but yeah, I think we'll talk about that a bit more. But I welcome you here, and we hope we can have an interesting dialogue. Yeah, Ruvneet, please add.
Yeah, hi everyone. Glad to have this event. Look forward to making sure it's interactive. Really want you to pose questions to us. There's a lot that hopefully we can share with you, but part of that responsibility is yours as well. So yeah, looking forward to this. Tushar and I have been really spending a lot of our time in our professional careers, actually guiding some of our colleagues and new joinees into the workspace. That's been a great experience. And now that we're working with college students since the last 1 year, it's actually been fantastic. And talking to people has made us understand some of the challenges that you kids face. We'd love to share those stories with you, but please do ask us questions. Yeah? Okay. Let's get started. Twinkle, I think you're on mute. No, can't hear you yet. Yes, this is audible. You're audible now, I think. Hi, Vedant. No, it's gone again. Hi, Vedant. In the meantime, we shall say hi. Yeah.
Twinkle, should we get started with the presentation? Yeah? Okay, I think that'll be a good thing while you fix your... Yep.
Is this visible to everyone? Okay.
Yeah? Hi? Okay, good. So welcome. We just give a quick introduction about Avtaar, what we do. I would love to tell a story about why the name Avtaar. As a lot of you know about... How many of you know about the movie Avtaar or have seen the movie? I would like to make this interactive.
Yeah, you can say yes on chat.
Please say yes on chat if you think if you've heard the movie Avtaar or watched the movie Avtaar. No? No one there? Okay. So in the movie, there is a person who's crippled and he really goes to a different planet, and there is a lot of things happening, and he finds his true purpose, right? He transforms into another person. I think that is the whole meaning about for the company. We feel that it really should represent you as a person. How can you become a better version of yourself? How can you follow your passion, your dream, take up the job that you like, get the money that you deserve, and also be happy and satisfied, right? You'll soon realize once you get into the company and workspace, you can get any job. But what is the right job for you? What will make you happy apart from just money? I think that is the most critical thing, that if not today, after a few years, you'll ask this question, right? So keep in mind this when we are, talking about Avtaar. And for us, our larger vision is to help you understand what is the right career for you, right? And an internship is the best way to experience a career. You can speak with people, put yourself in different situations, understand what works, what does not work, right? So try to have an open mind about an internship and see how can that benefit you. Yeah. Ruvneet, anything you want to add about Avtaar?
Yeah. And in the world of work that you kids will enter, you will be changing your jobs. In fact, you could change entire industries. And there's plenty of research to say that, you guys will be changing around 5 to 7 to even 9 jobs in your lifetime. What does that leave you with? A couple of things. One, even the number of jobs, the kinds of jobs, that whole world is exploding. And Many of the, in fact, there is research that 85% of the jobs that will be there in 2030 have not been invented yet. Okay, in this uncertainty, what can you as young college students take with you into this this world which is evolving even as you yourselves are evolving? So the parts that we are going to focus on and what our experience is telling us is that your attitudes, your skills, and your mindsets are some things that will help you no matter which job you're in, which stage you're in. And that's why the name Avtaar. Avtaar means that there is, the skills inside you and the attitudes and the mindsets that you carry are your biggest strengths, and you can wear different avatars in different stages of your life as you evolve and grow. Okay, and this the first stepping stone to all of this is an internship. It's your first avatar, so we'd love to talk to you about that. And we'll be focusing on that. Of course, happy to take any questions that you have for us.
Sure.
Yeah, Tushar, back to you.
Thanks, Ruvneet. Okay, so why are we talking about this, and what makes us trustworthy, right? Why should you trust us? Ruvneet comes from a long background. I'm sure she'll share a bit about her experience. I have 15 years experience in the industry. I've worked with companies as big as Pearson, where there have been 30,000 employees in the company, right, across 70 different countries. So, and we worked on education products. We've built a lot of things that help people across the globe. So, our sheer understanding of what is important, how do you learn, how do you make sure that you're learning the right thing. Everyone, I'm sure, knows that anything you want to learn is available on YouTube, right? YouTube is a fantastic medium to learn. But what should you learn? What should you learn today? Why should you learn that? How is it going to help you in your career choice? I think those are the questions that we want to help you with, right? There is plenty of learning material available everywhere, free of cost, right? And that's why it gets more and more tricky that you really know what you want, right? Imagine, I love to give examples, so please bear with me. Imagine you're going to a supermarket, right? And you don't know what you want to buy. You're just walking in and browsing. You can spend hours out there, right? And you will still not be happy with what you bought. But if you're sure that, let's say you want to buy a box of jam, right, or a jar of jam, you can go straight to the direct aisle, you can go to the shelf, and you can look at your options and make sure that you are buying the right thing, right? Your time to the supermarket is very short and reduced. Similarly, wherever you are in your career, if you are not sure what to improve on, what are the skills that I need to work on, you will be like the person in the supermarket who's lost. Yeah, Ravi, please add about anything else.
Okay, like Tushar said, why should you trust us? And it's a very important point. So Tushar and I worked together in Pearson for a couple of years. We worked on developing education products for growth markets across the world. That means that we were creating products for Brazil and South Africa, and for Indonesia and China, and it was such a great exposure to the similarities of challenges that school and college students face in these growth countries, and also what are the differences, right? That richness of experience. And before joining Pearson, I have worked with the governments of Bhutan, I've worked with the CDSE, and so all these experiences of understanding about how can education has to become in step and in line, and it has to enable young people for tomorrow. And that is really the learning that we bring to Avtaar, and we are here to talk to you and to share with you what we have found to be the essential skill sets in your backpack that will definitely take you into tomorrow, even though it's a very highly evolving and changing world. Okay?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we have a lot of careers that we help and guide on. These are some of the careers that we work on. And I want to pause here and understand from the audience, in this list, how many careers do you know in a fairly good detail? How many careers, can you give me a number of how many careers do you know? Twinkle, are we audible? I'm getting some queries on the chat that are we audible?
Yes, you are audible. I guess there's some echo from Ms. Ruvneet and.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I don't mute myself when I'm speaking. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. So Anand says 3, 6. Abhishek says unlimited. Try to pick a number, Abhishek. I want to know how many do you know. Eight, 9. Maximum 6. Infinity 10. I like Aisha's answers. She says infinity. $14, $15. Okay, cool. There are, we've just scratched the surface. There are over 500 careers in this world, right? And how do you make sure that the careers that what career is relevant for you, right? So again, go to the supermarket example. Think about if you don't know what to buy, you will be again lost in this, right? Okay. When we also spoke to a lot of college students, they said, how I understand this career, I really want to get into this, but I'm struggling to crack an internship, right? On the other side, companies really want to have good people, students like you, who can help them in their company growth and understand. So to bridge this gap, we created an internship training program, right? What is this program? It's a 6-week program. There are 10 hours of real life project work. So we don't, our classes are very interactive. They're more like discussions, right? We don't want to spoon feed you and bore you on, topics and all. We'll give you learning material. You come, you ask your questions, we'll have a discussion, right? And we really give you a lot of project work. We assess and we give you feedback on the project so that you can understand what to improve on. We are not expecting that you're master and perfect at that, but it's important that someone gives you feedback, because unless you don't get that feedback, you'll not know what to improve, right? This is a sample profile of a person in one of our batches. This is what we share with companies. So her entire portfolio, whatever work she's done, and what is her report card, everything comes together. This is how we share it, your profile to students, to the companies. Yeah. And we are still open for the December cohort. I'll try to share the registration links and all. We cover 5 careers for now: full stack, machine learning engineer, business analyst, product manager, and digital marketer. And we have over 100 company partners. Some of them are listed here, and we continue working with like reaching out to more companies for hiring you, right? And the best part, this is entirely free of cost for students. We don't charge students even a single rupee, no hidden cost. I will not come and ask you after 1 month, pay me some extra fee, nothing, zero, right? We want to make sure that you understand what is the best version that you can become. Cool. Yeah, so some of the things on what that we have on the app. So why should you do this, right? The way we train you will help you not only prepare for an internship, it will also sometimes help you understand, do I really want to do this or not? So a lot of our students in our cohort, they stop midway and they say, I feel I'm not the right person for this, or I'm not enjoying this. I want to switch track. So from a business analyst, they might go to a product manager, or from a full stack engineer, they might go to a machine learning engineer, right? So that's completely fine. And earlier you detect that, the better it is for you, right? So we always promote that you keep introspecting. We ask you questions that make you understand whether you are liking this, whether you want to continue this or not. Yeah. Cool. Some of our testimonials and our team, right? So I will stop here so that I don't take up more time on this, and we can ask questions. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Tushar. You have wonderfully explained about Avtaar, what kind of programs you are offering, and importantly, they are free, so students can learn and get the best opportunity in their field.
Yeah.
So let's start our panel discussion.
Yeah.
Yes, sure. So we have Ms. Ruvneet here as well.
I think Ruvneet is just...
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah, I've just put off the camera because I was listening on chat that my voice was not clear. Is this better?
Yes.
Is this better? Yeah, I've had some internet issues. Okay. Yeah.
Sure. So my first question would be to Ms. Ruvneet. So, Ms. Ruvneet, you are in the industry for a long time. So, can you explain the importance of internship in the life of students, especially in the engineering field?
Right.
It is important to have an internship to get a final job in the fourth year.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Typically an engineering degree is for 4 years, usually.
Yes.
And in every year, you go from a general idea of what you're doing to a specialized, a slightly more refined and specialized area by the time you come to fourth year, right?
Right.
And the aim of even the college as well as, career counselors is to help you go from a vague idea of what you want to do to a very clear idea of what you want to do. And by what you want to do, we are talking about the reality that any job that you take up will probably be something you pursue for 5 to 7 years, maybe even shorter, right? So one of the tips that we would want to share with you is that don't be burdened by thinking that if I have a career ले लिया है, but now I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life. ऐसा नहीं है. Right? But certainly it is something you might be stuck with for 4 or 5 years. So internships are the perfect, you can call it like an experiment that you can do. And this experimental mindset, if you have, in which you are curious and you're committed, it is actually a combination of both. If you approach internships with that attitude, then you will get a lot of learning, not only of exactly what this career is about, and it will also give you a feedback whether you are suited for that or not. तो अगर आपको ये करियर और आगे बढ़ के ले जाना है या नहीं, आपको बहुत जल्दी पता चल जाता है. सो ऑलमोस्ट लाइक अ टेस्ट ड्राइव. जैसे गाड़ी खरीदने से पहले आप एक टेस्ट ड्राइव लेते हो ना, तो उसी तरह एन इंटर्नशिप इज लाइक अ टेस्ट ड्राइव. कुछ देर के लिए you can check it out and then decide कि अच्छा ठीक है ये गाड़ी ले लेते हैं.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Ruvneet. Ma'am, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Tushar, I would like to ask from you. So we understood the importance of internship. So actually, how exactly students can prepare themselves, once they enter their graduate program from the first year itself, how they can be internship ready in the second or third year?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thanks for asking that, Twinkle. I think the approach is to okay, let me answer this from a company's perspective, right? Because I also hire a lot of interns. I have around 10-15 interns in my company, right? And I personally interview a lot of them. The main thing that I'm looking for is how curious are you, right? What have you done apart from the rest of the regular college projects, whatever the regular things that are available, right? Have you tried something on your own? Have you done maybe a course on your own? Have you picked up a problem statement and solved it? Have you done some freelance? Have you done just for fun made some things, right? Like let's say if you're a designer, you've like just made some logos or some design on that. Or if you are a coder, then have you picked up like the top 10 problem statements on HackerEarth and try to solve it? So the more you try and practice in and again, the better your entire profile gets built up, right? If an employer sees that there is no extra effort that the student has done, right, then it is a very big negative for the employer, because then even in the internship, let's say I give a problem to you, you will get stuck, right? And you will say, okay, now help me, I don't know what to do, right? And the most important thing in an internship is how do you learn yourself and how do you keep improving yourself, right? So I think the best way for first year and second year students is to try out different topics, do a lot of projects or problem statements. There is enough material available, there are enough platforms available which will give you that, and try to build up your entire profile. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Tushar. So my next question would be to Ms. Ruvneet.
Yeah.
Can you explain the process of finding the internship? I had one question from audience as well, how to apply for an internship. So what's the process of finding and choosing the right company that matches the student's profile?
That's a really great question. And it can be quite confusing,
Right.
Yeah, there is so at Avtaar we actually look into it in three things are what we recommend that you think about. Okay, one is your आपका interest क्या है, आपका what is your area of interest, and for that there are different sort of a type of counseling that happens where you're able to talk to someone who can help you discover that a little bit. Then the other part, so your interest is important. The second thing would be that what is the type of work. So one is interest, one is what we call your work style. Do you like meeting people, talking to people? Do you prefer working quietly? Don't not have too many conversations with people. You are, let's say someone, to give you an example, आपका personality या आपका work style data science type है कि थोड़ा working with teams and project manager type hai, do you enjoy talking to people and working with people? So that would be the second one, right? The third one definitely would be what are you in terms of matching you to a company will definitely be based on the first two that I have mentioned. The third one would be a combination of your availability. Like sometimes companies might want you to come to physically to their office, but you are not able to, and so there are these other things as well, right? Of course, what I am not including in this are your technical skills, which is understood. मतलब, are you able to जो theory आपने class में सीखा है, can you apply it in the work situation? We find in our experience that is one area that many students are sort of struggling with. And Tushar directly, in fact, he himself takes a couple of classes, and I would really like him to share a couple of experiences from there with regard to, how students, what kind of support they seek during these sessions. Yeah, Tushar?
Yeah, sure. Happy to answer that. So I think the sessions, or when we were trying to create that mindset that okay, what will my internship look like? What will I do every day? I think the best way to do that is to put them in different situations, right? So let's say you are a programmer. You did some development code, and it went live, and because of that सब कुछ फट गया, पूरा ऊपर नीचे पूरा ऐप बंद हो गया, वेबसाइट बंद हो गया, right? So everyone talks about the good days in a company, in a career, right? But you have your mix of good days and bad days, right? Things will go haywire, things will go loose. How do you make sure that you know what is the right way to solve during a crisis situation? How do you know how to identify what is a crisis versus not? And how do you make sure that you understand how do you solve the problem correctly, right? See, the biggest difference in your mindset is in a college, if you answer any assignment, you can fill up 1 page or 2 pages and you'll get like marks, right, in your college exams. And it's a finite answer. You can answer it in as many ways. But when you come to a workspace, there is no one solution for any problem. There are multiple solutions, and you have to be curious to understand how do you explore multiple solutions. You cannot do that if you don't know what is step 1, what is step 2, what is step 3, and how do you go about taking a problem into a solution.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tushar. So, can we pick some few questions from Q&A as well, or we should keep it at the end?
Maybe you can pick up Q&A questions. Yeah.
So, there's one question from Dhruv. So, do I supposed to have any skills before joining an internship, or it is for getting new skills, Mr. Ruvneet or Mr. Tushar?
Sure. Ruvneet, you want to take that out?
Sorry, I was busy answering the chat questions. So that Tushar.
Yeah, I'll take that. So every internship, right? There is a basic hygiene set of skills that you want to have, right?
Okay.
You can't go to a programming or an engineering internship saying that I don't know how to code, right? You should know basics of how to code, how to use Git, how do you check in your code, how do you test your code. So this is something that you try to have the minimum criteria set, right? Okay, this is enough for me to get into that internship. Apart from that, no one is expecting that, no employer is expecting that you are an expert in anything. You don't have to be hacker the rank number 1 to crack that internship, right? You're there to learn. You should have an open mindset. And make sure that you're not hiding that, okay, I see a lot of interns not telling me that, okay, they struggle at something. It is not a college exam. No one is going to question you that, okay, why are you weak at this? In fact, if you tell your in the internship interview or your in the internship itself that you need help in certain area, they will be more than happy to help you. Right? So be very honest. Have for every internship there will be a JD. Try to understand what is your basic minimum qualification criteria, and you can try to at least qualify for that.
Thanks, Mr. Tushar. So there was one question in the starting, like how can I add value to the role offered to me? Ms. Ruvneet, would you like to answer that question?
Yeah, sure. I did. That's a wonderful question. How can you add value? See,
Right.
yeah. Anywhere, whether in the house, outside the house, in the workplace, anywhere, the best way to
Right.
add value is to bring a great attitude to work. Great attitudes comprise of being curious. Tushar mentioned it very beautifully just now when he said कि unfortunately our education system में हमको आदत हो जाती है कि क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछो, ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन पूछोगे तो और डंडे पड़ेंगे. तो whereas in the workplace, everybody loves it if you ask questions. That means you're interested, you're curious. So please be curious. When you were young children, you used to be curious, so go back to being that person. Your attitude is number one. Then the other thing is, please don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't be afraid of failure. Again, Tushar mentioned it by saying कि marks means high marks के पीछे मत भागो, शाबाशी के पीछे मत भागो. You are here, particularly in your early years of your career. The more failures you have, the more mistakes you make, please trust us, the richer your life will be. Okay? So have an open mind, ask questions, take feedback, say no, tell me more, what else can I do? Just these things you will be a success in your relationships, at your work, everywhere you go. Guaranteed. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Ruvneet. So my next question is about this webinar is on what to expect in the internship. So Mr. Tushar, can you tell our audience what are the major hurdles they can expect in an internship, and what other things they should prepare before joining any company or starting any project?
So the first thing I tell every intern that before even joining, right, before even the first day of work, I tell them to make a list of what do they expect in the internship, right? What is the outcome? And the outcome is very simple, right? Let's say it could be I want to learn X, Y, Z, right? Or I want to be better at something. I already know something, but I want to be better at something. Let's say you want to be a digital marketer. I want to create some posts that really hit the market, or I can be better in my blog writing, or I can be better in my designing. So, and give yourself a rating scale. The more measurable you make your outcome, the better it is for you. If someone tells me I want to learn good communication skills, what is good? Is that good can be different for you and me for everyone else. So try to put a scale to it. Say that, okay, currently 3 and 10 on internship. So put your outcome. Second is divide your internships into sort of 3 parts, right? If it's, let's say, a 3-month internship, and you can do that similarly for longer internships. First month, you're on a learning mode. Learn about the company, learn about the role, learn about people. meet with them, schedule 15-minute conversations with them. No one will say no, right? At least in the companies. Ask them questions, ask them about their work, what do they do, what is their life like, what are their problem areas. Even if it doesn't connect you in any way, be very open-minded and curious, as Ruvneet said, right? In fact, we did a poll in Avtaar on what is a good intern, and curiosity was rated, was given around 80% weightage in 500 responses, right? So the first month is, just on your look. By the second month, you should be able to do your task independently, right? Like you only when you get stuck on certain areas, you should reach out to people and get them. And in month 2, you should be able to deliver something, have something that you have contributed to. Only when you do that, you will feel that satisfaction that, okay, I have contributed to month 3 is about expanding your role. You have to, even if you're joining, let's say, as a marketing intern, you should not limit your scope to just marketing. Try to skills. Try to look at new careers that are there in the company. How can I also work with you on a problem statement together? Right? Get an understanding about what is. So this interns to explore their skills, try out different things, fail. It's okay, right? But unless you try out in a live setting, then it will become very, very difficult for you to even understand whether that career could be a better fit for you or not, right? I'll give you an example. There was one person in my team, one intern who joined our teams, and he wanted to be a product manager, right? He was fascinated by this world of product management. We got him in, we spoke to him, and we actually, and he was confused between product and program management, right? Which is very common. We gave him the role of a program manager. He tried that out for 3 months. He actually loved it more than product management. He also had a chance to work on some product problems. But he said, I love program management so much that I feel I'm a better fit for that, right? So that can only come when you have an open mind and you are able to cross all your hurdles and make sure that you have a learning mindset. So divide your internship in 3 months, in 3 stages: learn, contributing, and exploring.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Tushar. So I had one question in mind to ask you, Mr. Ruvneet.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask, what are the common myths about internship? One of our audiences also asked, like, do companies exploit an internship?
Yeah.
Students should have this fear, or rather than focus on their preparation and work on their project with a full mind. Yeah.
It's a great question. I think it was Khushi who's asked that, right? So Khushi, firstly, thank you for asking that. It's not a comfortable question or something, but I'm glad you asked that. This is about exploiting. So I'm going to assume that you mean things like give you lots of boring work to do, and Tushar calls it drudge work. So I'm assuming that's what you mean. Yeah. So couple of thoughts. One, there is drudge work in every job, some part of it. Even if you ask me right now, or you ask Tushar or Twinkle or anybody else, some amount of your work is drudge work. It is the nature of any situation. Right? But it is absolutely fair for you to ask for meaningful work that helps you grow, develop your skill set, sets you up for success in your next step. Okay, but
Sorry,
this
Twinkle,
is
can you
couple of
mute yourself? There is a lot of background noise.
but this is dependent on a couple of things. One, yani ki you yourself must be very focused on your own learning and your own growth. Believe me, even companies who have, let's say, a lot of drudge work that they need you as interns to do, they will be happy if you go to them and say, look, I understand that this is important for you and I'm happy to do it, but I would also like to do or learn about, or I am interested in some other part of the company project, some other work. That if it comes from you, believe me, nobody will deny it. And this attitude, by the way, this form of exploiting is not only in interns, it will happen to you throughout your life. But it's up to you. You must understand that the company also needs your help. But that doesn't mean that it should be one-sided. It needs to be both-sided, but you've got to please don't ever put yourself in a victim mindset. हम बेचारे mindset से कहीं भी कभी मत जाइएगा. Go with a fair mindset and with a mindset that believes that everyone's doing their best. And for that, you just have a conversation with your reporting manager to say, listen, surely, please include me in some interesting projects, and they will. Yeah, I hope this answers your question, Khushi. Back to you, Twinkle.
Yes. Following that, Ms. Ruvneet, if you can answer this one question, how to overcome with work pressure. I guess
work pressure. You know what they say, enjoy your work and you'll never work in your life, right? And this is one reason why Avtaar mein one of the things that we focus on, ke pehle, please ask yourself some why questions. Whether it's the choice of the company, why do you want to join a company? Is it just because it's social, matlab acha naam rahega? Are you actually wanting to learn? Because Tushar mentioned it earlier, if your expectations are something else and you are getting something else, there is going to be a problem, right? So work pressure arises when you are unhappy at work. Work pressure arises when you are not able to say no. Work pressure arises when perhaps it is very demanding, you don't have the skill set or knowledge. How do you overcome each one of them? Learn to say no politely. If you don't understand something, don't be afraid to ask, I'm sorry, I don't understand how to do this. Can someone please help me this time? Next time I'll do it myself, right? And most importantly, please definitely do your part and make sure that your expectations, your own thoughts and all are not getting in the way, that you land yourself in a soup bar of work pressure. Okay? And then make sure you go out and sort of Saturday, Sunday ko, please look after yourselves.
Yeah. I'll Twinkle, small thing.
right.
The biggest thing that you have to learn in an internship is time management, right? Because many of you will be still doing your college. We have had interns who attend the morning college and then evening they do the internship, right? And they sometimes do it late night. How do you prioritize your work? How do you make sure that even the 3-4 hours that you're spending in a day, you are spending it on the right task, right? I see one common thing one common mistake that leads to this work pressure is किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया कि this is ये करना है. You leave everything and you start doing that, right? Without asking, is that urgent? Is that supposed to be done today?
That's great, yeah.
And And what happens is then जो actually आज करना था and जो important था, जो जिसका कल deadline है, then that becomes more critical. Then you spend overnight trying to do that task which is due tomorrow, right? So, and in an internship, you will get work from a lot of people. Try to be honest and try to ask them, is this important? Does it need to be done today? I have these priorities for, and let's say if it is important, then tell them, okay, I'm working on these things. Please help me prioritize what should I work on right now. You're human after all. They cannot make clones of you and make you work more than needed. And beyond a time, beyond a point, like if you stretch anyone to work, let's say 12 hours a day, right? Their mind will break. No creativity. They will make more mistakes. They will be tired. So we don't promote that you should work. I think there was a Kalam quote, Abdul Kalam. He said, if you cannot finish your work in 8 hours a day, then you are not doing your work smartly.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to function as the human body demands and make sure that you prioritize what work has to be done, which will, if you do that properly, then your work pressure will never come to you.
I would actually emphasize that. Learn to prioritize. The skill of prioritizing will give you your life back. And how do you prioritize? By consulting your manager. उनसे openly बोलिए कि मेरे को ये तीन काम आए हैं. Please help me prioritize them. Okay? Yeah. Back to you.
Yes, thank you. So Tushar, there's one question for you. Is there any WhatsApp, Telegram group to join with you? If you could please share any link with our audience.
Yeah.
That will be a great time. So next question. So we have seen multiple questions related to this. Like, I'm not getting internship on campus. Should we look for off-campus jobs? There's one question. I'm in a third year of engineering. I couldn't able to find internship yet. So can you help them how they can find the right internship at this point?
Yeah. The first thing, so don't be dependent on campus, right? Yes, you have a placement officer and training cell. They will do the best to always give you the right company and internships, but it's you might be interested in something totally different, right? And you might be stuck with whatever the on-campus provides you, right? It could be a company, it could be a career. So try to always have an open mind. Try to look at different companies, follow them, understand what they do, right? I think Ruvneet talked about interest, right? One of the biggest things that sell that you can do free, right, to make your internship application stronger, is to learn about a company, right? So for example, let's say you're applying to internship at Avtaar, right? You should learn about Avtaar. You should understand what do we do. Try to use their product. Try to understand who's the product for. Try to understand their channels, their marketing, everything. And then share, not like a cover letter, but try to share something interesting that you can add value to. Once the other person sees that you have spent some time understanding the company and trying to try to better or give an idea of how to improve the company, you will at least get the first foot in the door. Right? It doesn't mean that you'll get the internship, but at least they will be curious, right? Till today, if someone writes to me on LinkedIn, I'm fairly active on LinkedIn. So if someone writes to me on LinkedIn about, I have this idea, I'm struggling for it, or I need help or guidance on this, I always take out time to help that person. So try to, and you can expand this to an industry. So I get a lot of interns saying that, I'm really passionate about stocks and trading, right? Can I apply to any company? Or someone says I'm interested in healthcare, right? I really want to help poor people in their health. That is a really big motivator. If you can find that, and if you can use that to filter the list of companies that you're applying, because there are 10,000 companies that you can apply to. Which one would you apply to? You can't just go to Internshala and just keep saying, yes for every internship opportunity that comes. You have to stand out from the crowd, right? And that's what even we as employers want. We want to see how do you make yourself stand out from the crowd. It doesn't mean that you have to have 10 CGPA. It doesn't mean that you have to be a topper in college. It means you have to show something unique that makes you stand out, right? And that is always critical to get that internship, at least a foot in the door. Then it comes to matching your skills. As I said earlier, try to have at least a basic set of skills. Try to, follow up with the company, ask about the internship. I also find this very amusing where let's say I put out an internship post and, few interns reached out to me. I give them an assignment and they never even bother to do it or not even reply back that I'm not interested. Big negative, right? The employer will shut you down. If you are not responsive, even if you don't want that internship, you should go ahead and say that, I'm sorry, I don't want that internship right now. I've got some other opportunity or I'm busy with my exam. Totally fine. But not responding is negative. They will not even entertain you, right? So apply for the ones that you're interested in, that matches your interest. Be responsive during this entire internship selection process. Do the assignment or whatever task they give you. Don't take it on your ego that I'm topper in my college, why should I do the assignment? No. It's very different to be topper or good in your marks, and very different to be good in your career, right? And thirdly, try to stand out, right? More projects, anything that you can do to show which is how you be different.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Tushar. So we have so many questions I still have to ask. So I guess we had this question 2 or 3 times. Can you quickly tell us how to formally approach a company to ask for an internship and whom to contact in the company?
Yeah.
Quickly 2-3 steps. Yeah.
Tushar, you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So look at, if you're interested in a company, go to the careers page. They always have an open list of opportunities open, or go to their LinkedIn page and you can find jobs there. Make sure that you scan all the channels, right? So many times companies put it on LinkedIn, some put it on Internshala, some put it on their own career page, right? So these are 3 most common ones. Secondly, try to create a cover letter, as I told, right? So that you have, along with your profile, you're also sharing why do you want to work for that company. And then I think, is that what you asked, right, Twinkle? That how should you apply?
Yeah, how should a student approach a company while applying for the internship?
Correct. And if you really feel strongly, find that person, the senior person from your college, or someone like the leader or the CEO of the company. Write a message to them on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a brilliant networking tool where you can really connect to anyone in the company. Share them that, okay, this is something that I'm interested in. Why is there any opening for me? And don't get dejected if they don't answer. Right? Many of times we are busy with 100 things happening, so we sometimes take time to answer. Right? Reach out to multiple people in a company if you're really interested in that.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Tushar. So my next question to Ms. Ruvneet.
Yes.
So we had 1-2 questions related to stipend. Does stipend matter in internship? And there's one question: is paid internship has higher priority than a free internship? So does it impact the final job the student is about to take? So any views on that?
Okay, this look, there's how do I say this? I think a certain degree of personal, your own personal point of view might come in here. From the world of work side, paid internship versus an unpaid internship. I mean, I can tell you ethically, if I was to ask anyone to do anything, I would want to respect their effort by giving them some remuneration, right? From that point of view, I would put paid internship simply as that it is respecting your time and your effort. All right, that's one. So in general, I would definitely put that as an important criteria. If I was in place of any of you, I would think about that. I know that I would feel good to be, even as a college student myself, doing an internship. It would make me very happy to be respected for my time and effort, right? However, obviously, there are always exceptions. In those exceptions, make sure that it's worth it. For example, if you're with an NGO and if there is a certain, the entire organization is doing good in a manner that remuneration and salary is not the main or the main thing. You're working for a higher purpose, where your work is the contribution itself, right? So I would probably approach it like that. But mine is perhaps a very idealistic point of view. Tushar, do you have a more realist point of view on this? Between paid and unpaid internships, yeah.
I mean, see, there's a thin line between, so definitely not unpaid, right? I'm very ethical that way too, that you should not go for an unpaid internship, because if you are helping the company, whatever small amount, it could be anything, right? The company is getting benefited from your work, right? So you should definitely, have a minimum stipend that you want to get into, right? Now, whether it is 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, whatever, that depends on how much value can you add, whether it's a first internship or the fourth one. Are you close to your pre-placement offer so that you can also, let's say you're in the fourth year, can you also work for the complete year and then get into full time? So there are a lot of factors for it. You cannot generalize and say that, okay, I want only this much stipend, right? And just remember, you're not going in there for the stipend, right? It is just a check mark for you that, okay, this will be, people will respect my work, right? So that money is just to ensure that you are valued part of the company, right? I think of a company as if you have opened a watch anytime, a wristwatch, right? There are like these small spokes in that, and everything is working together. So in a company, everything has to work together. Otherwise, even if the smallest part comes out, then the company will stop. So you are as important to the company as as much as you need them. So have that confidence. Don't be egoistic and ask like for 50,000, 20,000 or whatever X amount of stipend. Do your research, understand how much do they pay, what is the average stipend based on what you want to do. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Tushar. So we had 2-3 questions related to, like, I am in third year of electrical engineering or third year for this specialization. So they are asking me where they can apply, how they can apply. So can you please share Avtaar link, like you showed in the beginning, different specializations, so they can go through the website and check more details. You are not audible, Mr. Tushar.
I have just put it on chat. Is that audible? Is that visible now on public chat?
1 second. I guess it's not.
Not yet, Tushar.
Yeah.
I can't see
Where
it.
should I put it then?
Okay, let me put.
Right. Okay, I've seen it now. Yeah.
So let me
You
share.
want to put it in Q&A as well?
Yes.
Hi.
Please post in Q&A, Mr. Tushar. Q&A.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll put that.
Yeah.
There as well.
And please share your group link as well if there is any. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So we had lots of questions from our audience. So one last question or your closing remarks for the session. Any advice, tips for our students? I would like to ask both of you. First with Ms. Ruvneet.
Thank you so much, Twinkle. It's been a pleasure. And thank you for the questions you've asked, Twinkle. Thank you to the audience and to all the kids who are here. My closing thought I would want to leave you with: you are not alone. Lots of us are there. There are many other people as well, and Avtaar is very glad to be a part of this as well. We love working with young people, so you're not alone. Absolutely reach out, and we are there for you. Okay? Yeah. Tushar?
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Ruvneet. Yes, Mr. Tushar.
Yeah, I think just remember some of the tips we shared. Be confident about your skills, what you want to do. Try to stand out from the crowd. Make sure that you spend some time, looking and understanding what the company does. Be confident in your internship. Ask questions. Be curious. Make sure that you know what you want to achieve in the internship, what you want to learn. Explore as much as you can, right? So I think this is how I would look at, and do multiple internships. No one is saying that you should do only one internship in your entire college life. Do multiple, try out different roles. Only then you will understand what are you good at.
Thank you, Mr. Tushar. So thanks for such an enlightening session, panelists. Thank you for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Twinkle.
Thank you, Twinkle.
Welcome. So looking forward to connect with you all again. Stay safe and take care.
You
Thank
too.
you.
All right. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.